Bitcoin Crusaders' political dream ends. Governor wins runoff. South Dakota Governor Larry Rhoden has successfully fended off a primary challenge from businessman and prominent Bitcoin advocate, Toby Doeden. This victory marks the first gubernatorial primary runoff win in the state's history, securing Rhoden's spot in the November general election. The race was called for Rhoden quickly after polls closed. He secured a significant lead, taking 70.5% of the vote compared to Doeden's 29.5%. This election was historic, as it was the first time South Dakota voters decided a gubernatorial nomination through a primary runoff. State law mandates a runoff if no candidate for governor, U.S. Senate, or U.S. House reaches at least 35% of the primary vote. This head-to-head battle came after a four-way primary in June. Doeden initially led with 30.6% of the vote, while Rhoden came in second with 25.2%. Both fell short of the 35% needed to win outright, triggering the runoff. Rhoden assumed the governorship in early 2025 after Kristi Noem's departure for the Trump administration, while Doeden entered the political arena as a businessman and a fresh face. Doeden, notably, has also built a public profile as a staunch Bitcoin evangelist. He revealed he began investing heavily in the cryptocurrency around 2020, dedicating hundreds of hours to research. Eventually, he converted nearly all the unused cash reserves from his businesses into Bitcoin. On his podcast, Doeden famously declared, "I will buy Bitcoin forever, every single day. We mine Bitcoin, we buy Bitcoin." He even advocated for legislation that would permit the South Dakota Investment Council, responsible for public employee pension funds, to invest in Bitcoin. Going further, Doeden pushed for South Dakota to create a state Bitcoin reserve, a proposal firmly opposed by state investment and budget officials. With this primary win, Rhoden now prepares to face former Democratic State Senator Dan Arlers in November. South Dakota has a long history of Republican governors, with no Democrat holding the office since Harvey Woolman in 1979, and none elected since Richard Nate's re-election in 1974. Property taxes emerged as a key issue during the runoff campaign. Doeden championed the idea of eliminating property taxes entirely. Rhoden's campaign, however, painted Doeden's proposal as financially irresponsible, warning it could severely underfund local governments and schools. Governor Rhoden, meanwhile, highlighted his own tax relief measures signed earlier this year, which his campaign proudly calls the largest property tax cut in the state's history. Throughout the race, Doeden attempted to cast Rhoden as a member of South Dakota's entrenched political establishment. After the June primary, Doeden asserted that career politicians had told him an outsider couldn't overcome established office holders. Rhoden countered these attacks, suggesting Doeden was simply trying to make hay by labeling him a career politician. He called that characterization a warped viewpoint, explaining that his legislative experience gave him practical knowledge of crafting laws and then living under them like any other resident. Interestingly, former President Donald Trump did not publicly endorse a candidate in this runoff. While he acknowledged Governor Rhoden by name during remarks at Mount Rushmore, he steered clear of the governor's race. Doeden, on the other hand, campaigned as a fierce Trump supporter, vowing to help implement the former president's America First agenda.